Good afternoon, my dear students. Hope you all are doing great. Please, students, join fast so I can start our live session today. Please, students, join fast so I can start our live session today. Please let me know from where you are watching our live session. Hello, everyone. Hello, Rai. Please, students, join fast so I can start our live session today. Today we will discuss about our last 10 years question papers and the questions. So please students join fast so I can start our live session today. Please let me know where you are watching our live session today. Good afternoon, students, and hello, everyone. So we are now going to learn about our EVS environmental science, and we will discuss about 10 questions in today's live class. So welcome everyone to our another live session. Please join fast so I can start our live session today. Okay. Please students join fast and let me know that where you were watching our live session. Okay. So as I told you that we are discuss about some important questions today. So at first, I am your Priya ma'am, your EVS teacher, as I told you in our introductory classes. So as you know that environmental science is a field of science where we can know about our environment, our mother earth, and the interaction between every living organisms and our environment. So the first question today I will discuss that what are decomposers, write their importance with respect to our environment. Here is the number division 1 plus 1 equals to 2. Here is the number division 1 plus 1 equals to 2. 1 plus 1, 2. Can you answer this question? Can anyone answer this question? Can anyone answer this question? Can anyone answer these questions? What are decomposers? Write their importance with respect to our environment. Decomposers and their importance to our environment. Can anyone answer this question? Okay. So decomposers are nature's recyclers. Okay, they help to break down the organic substances like the decaying plants and animal bodies, the rotten vegetables and organic components, and breaks down into a simpler inorganic components like carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and also helps to and they act as an decomposer. So let us know about their importance. They play a vital role in our environment, and they help to decompose the decaying plants and animal bodies. So here are some examples. Here are some examples like worm, mushrooms, bacteria, and insects. So, who are decomposers? The answers of our first question: who are decomposers? So, decomposers are nature's recyclers. They helps to break down the decaying organic substances like dead animals and plants bodies and some other organic materials into simpler inorganic particles like carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, okay. So who are decomposers or what are decomposers? Decomposers are nature's recyclers. They help to break down the decaying organic substances like dead animals and plant bodies and some other organic materials into simpler inorganic particles like carbon, nitrogen and phosphorus. As examples, you can see here worm, mushrooms, insects and bacteria are acts as decomposers. Okay, students, if there are any doubts, please let me know. If there are any doubts, please let me know. Okay. Okay. Let's move to the next question. Okay. Write the causes of depletion of ozone layer and how can we prevent it. So now before learning the causes of depletion of ozone layer, first we have to learn about what is ozone layer. What is ozone layer? It's a part of stratosphere. So how ozone layer helps us? Ozone layers helps to prevent the UV rays, and protects our earth. How it protects our earth? It prevents the UV rays and so our ozone layer acts as a natural shield to the earth. Okay. So how ozone layers forms? When the highly reactive oxygen atoms reacts with the free oxygen molecules, then it forms one ozone molecules. So here the question is, write the causes of depletion of ozone layer. So what is the term depletion means? That means the ozone layers became thin. And what is the cause behind them? Let's discuss. Okay, as you can see in this picture, that ozone layers acts as a protective shield. Okay, it prevents the UV rays. And UV ray can't reach into the earth. Okay, but some pollutants is the cause of depletion of ozone layers. What are they? CFC or chlorofluorocarbons and halogens, and also nitrous oxide, methyl bromide. Now we will discuss about them elaborately. Okay, so at first we have to learn about ozone layer. So basically ozone layer is a part of stratosphere that acts as an protective shield to the earth, that acts as a protective shield to the earth. It prevents UV rays. So UV rays can't reach to the earth. Okay, so there are some pollutants. There are some pollutants that are responsible for the depletion of ozone layer. Okay, so what are they? At first CFC or chlorofluorocarbons, halogens, nitrous oxide or N2O, methyl bromide. Okay, so they are the reason for the depletion of ozone layer. Okay, so now we have to learn about those pollutants elaborately. Okay, so let's start. So at first the main culprit is CFC. The main culprit is CFC or chlorofluorocarbon. It's the main culprit behind the depletion of ozone layer. Okay, the CFC is used in refrigerator or air conditioner or aerosol spray or perfume, and they breaks down the ozone molecules into oxygen molecules. Okay, so see, they are the main culprit behind the depletion of ozone layer. Chlorofluorocarbon or Cl2F2 reacts with ozone molecule and breaks down into oxygen molecule. Okay, so what's the chemical reaction? What's the chemical reaction between them? CCl2F2 in the presence of UV light. In the presence of UV light, it generates CClF2 and Cl or chlorine. Okay. Now this Cl reacts with ozone and forms ClO plus O2. Okay. Free oxygen molecule is produced and it breaks down the ozone molecules and forms free oxygen molecules. Okay. So this is the main reason behind the depletion of ozone layer. Okay. Now it comes halogens. Now what are halogens? Halogens are mainly used in fire extinguisher. Mainly used in fire extinguisher. If we see the halogens are more effective on ozone layer than the CFC. So halogens are more effective. Halogens are more effective. Halogens are more effective on ozone layer or ozone layer depletion than CFC. Okay, than CFC. So what are CFC and halogens? There I discussed elaborately. Let's check. Okay. So then comes to nitrous oxide. Then comes to nitrous oxide. Then it comes to nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide or N2O. Okay. So nitrous oxide generates from the vehicles or industrial companies, and it acts as pollutants and also a major cause for the depletion of ozone layer. So nitrous oxide mainly comes out from the industries and vehicles, and also it's a major cause of depletion of ozone layer. Depletion of ozone layer. Okay. So these are the causes behind the depletion of ozone layer. So how can we prevent them? We have to prevent the uses of these chemicals or pollutants. So this way we can prevent the ozone layer depletion, because ozone hole is already formed on Arctic cycle. Okay, so these are the reasons behind the depletion of ozone layer. Okay, next our next question is, explain the formation of ozone layer. Now we have to explain the formation of ozone layer. Okay, number is 2. Okay, can you answer this question? can you answer this question? Can anyone answer this question? Can anyone answer this question? Okay. Okay. So let's discuss about the formation of ozone layer. In our previous question, we discussed about the depletion of ozone layer and what is ozone layer. So ozone layer is basically the part of stratosphere that acts as a protective shield around our earth. Okay. So now we have to learn the formation of ozone layer, how ozone layer is formed. So ozone layer, how it is formed? In the presence of UV light, the ozone layer is formed. How ozone layer is formed? It's a natural process. It's a natural or ongoing process. It's a natural and ongoing process that heads into two steps. First of all, it's photolysis, and then second is ozone layer formation. Okay, so let's know elaborately. Okay, how ozone layer is formed. So it's a natural and ongoing process. It's a natural and ongoing process that occurs into mainly two steps, or two steps are involved. What are they? Number one, photolysis. And second, ozone formation. So first we are going to learn about photolysis. So what is photolysis? So at first we are going to learn about photolysis. So what is photolysis? In this process, ozone forms. In this process, the oxygen molecules breaks down into two reactive oxygen atoms. So in this process, oxygen molecules breaks down into two highly reactive oxygen atoms. So in this process, oxygen molecules breaks down into two highly reactive oxygen atoms in the presence of UV light. So when we are discussing about that UV light is absorbed in ozone layer, so basically here the photolysis process is going on. So in this process, oxygen molecules breaks down into two highly reactive oxygen atoms in the presence of UV light. In the presence of UV light. Okay, so Oxygen molecule plus UV light, when reacts with UV light or in the presence of UV light, it breaks down into two highly effective oxygen atoms. Okay. So now the second step is ozone formation. Now the second step is ozone formation. The second step is ozone formation. So what happens in the second step? What happens? The highly reactive oxygen atoms now reacts with the free oxygen molecules in the air and forms ozone molecules. So in this step, what happens? So in this step, the highly reactive oxygen atom that produced in photolysis process now reacts with the free oxygen molecules in air and produces ozone molecules. Okay. So the reaction, if we write the reaction, O plus O2, it produces one ozone molecule. So how ozone layer is formed? It's a natural and ongoing process that occurs into mainly two steps, that are photolysis and ozone formation. So what is photolysis? In this process, in the presence of UV light, the oxygen molecules breaks down into two highly effective oxygen atom. Then the oxygen atom that is produces in the process photolysis, in the next step in ozone formation, the highly reactive oxygen atoms reacts with the oxygen molecule and it forms one ozone molecules. Okay, so this is the process. Okay, so this is the process. Please let me know if you have any doubts. Please let me know if you have any doubts. Okay, Joydev. No, it's CBSE class, so I have to talk in English. Okay, Devabroto Mahanto, clear ma'am. Okay, okay. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Let's move to the next slide. Mention three information obtained from the energy flow diagram. Mention the three information obtained from the energy flow diagram. Can you answer this question? Only mention three information from the energy flow diagram. Can you answer this question? Can you answer this question? See, here is a diagram. So here is a diagram of energy pyramid. Can you answer this question in the basis of this diagram? Can anyone answer this question in the basis of this diagram? Can anyone answer this question in the basis of this diagram? Students who are watching the live session, please let me know what's your name and from where you are watching our live session. Please let me know from where you are watching our live session. And if you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay, so the three information that we can get from these diagrams are, see, the energy flow is unidirectional. That means it flows in a single direction. Okay, producers from primary consumer to secondary consumers, then third level consumer, and then apex predators. Okay, so the energy flow is unidirectional. So first, our point is the energy flow is unidirectional. The energy flow is unidirectional. Very much important point. The energy flow is unidirectional. Okay, so the energy flows in a single direction, like producers to primary consumers to secondary consumers, to third level consumers, and then apex predators. Okay, so energy flows in a single direction. Okay, energy flow in a single direction. Okay, then second point, 10% law. The second point is 10% law. Now, what is 10% law? What is 10% law? See, the energy loss 10% in every tropic level. If the primary producers takes the 100% solar energy, then the primary consumer will get 10% of solar energy, secondary consumer will get 1% of solar energy, third level consumer will get 0.1% solar energy, and the apex predator will get no solar energy. So this is the 10% law, that energy decreases in every tropic level. Energy decreases in every tropic level. So what is the 10% law? Energy decreases in every tropic level. If the primary consumers get 100% solar energy, the secondary consumers will get 10% of solar energy. 10% of solar energy. Okay? The third level consumer will get 1% of solar energy. and then the next consumer will get 0.1% solar energy, and the apex predator will get 0% solar energy. So energy decreases 10% in every trophic level. Okay, clear? So 10% law is the second point, and the third point is number of trophic level. Okay, the third point is number of trophic level. From the energy flow diagram, we can learn about how many trophic levels are there. So in this diagram, we can see here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 trophic levels. So here 4 trophic levels are found. Energy decreases in every trophic level, so it can only provide 4 to 5 trophic levels. Okay, so that's why the number of predators are so low in the highest trophic level, and the number of the primary consumers are so high in the bases. Okay, you can see in this diagram that we can count that trophic levels from this diagram. Okay, so we can get to know about the number of trophic levels. So we can get to know about the number of trophic levels from this diagram. So the third point is number of trophic levels. Number of trophic levels. Number of trophic levels. From the energy flow diagram, we can get to know how many trophic levels are there. Trophic levels are there. The number of the energy decreases in every trophic levels, and the amount is so high. The amount is so high that it can only provide 4 to 5 trophic levels. 4 to 5 trophic levels. Okay, so that's why we can get to know that the predators numbers are so low, but the primary producers and the primary consumers numbers are so high in the basis. Okay, so this is the answer. Please let me know if you have any doubts. Please let me know if you have any doubts. Ayan, hello. Ayan, hello. Please let me know if you have any doubts. Please let me know. And the students who are watching our live session today, please let me know that where you are watching our live session. Okay. Let me know that it's clear. This question, it's clear to you. If this question is clear to you. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Let's move to the next slide. Before moving to the next slide, so we have to discuss about our live classes. So today from 3 p.m. our class is environmental science. Okay, so tomorrow live classes from 3 p.m. English live class. So let's move to the next slide. What are food chains and food webs? Why are smaller food chains better? Can anyone give this answer? Can anyone? Here is a diagram. From this diagram, can anyone answer this question? What is food chain and food web? What is the difference between them? What is the difference between them? Okay. The students who are watching our live session, can you answer this question? Can you answer this question? Okay, so let's discuss about the difference between food chain and food web. Here you can see a diagram. Here you can see a diagram. Okay, so this is food chain and this is food web. Now, what is the difference between them? See, in this diagram, food chain, it's a linear process. Okay, step by step process from where first comes the producers, then the primary consumer, then secondary, then tertiary, then final consumer, and then the predators. Okay, so here is the process. It's a linear process and so easy, it's less complex. It's less complex. But here is this, in this diagram of food web, you can see it's so complex. It's a complex process and it interconnects various it interconnects various food chains. Okay, so this is a complex process, but it's a simpler process. In this process, we can get to know who consumes whom and the energy flow, about the energy flow, and the energy flow process is unidirectional. The trophic levels, in this process we can get to know. But in this food web, it's a network. It's a complex network that interconnects various food chains. Okay, so various food chains and the predators, consumers, and the producers depends on each other, and the interaction between them we can learn about in this food web. Okay, so first, food chain and food web. So what's the difference between them? At first, food chain is a linear process. Food chain is a linear process from which we can get to know about who eats or consumes whom for energy. Okay, but food web, it's a network that interconnects many food chains. Okay, clear? Number 2, it's a simple process. But food web, it's a complex process. It's a complex process. It's less stable, but it's more stable. So why it is less stable but it's more stable? See, if there any consumers or producers fails or disappears, then the whole chain will breaks. But in food web, if any prey will disappear, then the predators can feed on another prey. Okay, because here the food chains are interlinked with each other. So there are many options. But here is only one option. Okay, so this is less stable, but food web is a more stable process. So it's less stable process. It's less stable process. But it is more stable process. It is more stable process. Okay. And the last point. The last point. What will be the last point? What will be the last point? If one prey disappears, then the whole cycle will break, or whole chain will break. But in food web, if one prey disappears, the predator can feed another prey. Okay, so here in this food web there are many options, but in food chain there is only one option. Okay, so this is the difference. Okay, so what are food chains and food webs? Then the question is, why are smaller food chains better? Can you answer this question? Why are smaller food chains better? Why are smaller food chains better? Can you answer this question? Can you answer this question? Why are smaller food chains better? Why are smaller food chains better? Smaller food chains better. Why? Why smaller food chains are better? Why? Because in the previous question we discussed that energy decreases in every trophic level. So the decrease of energy is so high that it only provides 4 to 5 trophic levels. In this previous question, we saw that energy. In the previous question, we saw that energy. Here in this picture, we saw the decrease of energy is so high that the primary producers will consume the, if the primary producers consume the 100% of solar energy, then the primary consumers will consume 10% of solar energy, the secondary consumer will consume 1%, then third level consumer will consume 0.1% of solar energy, and the apex predator will get no energy. So if the smaller, the more smaller the food chain is, there will be some energy flow is higher in smaller food chains. If we see, so if we draw a food chain, So in this base level, there will be producers. In the second stage, if there will go as primary consumers, and last human, okay, as secondary consumer. So the energy chain or the food chain is smaller than the previous diagram, okay. So if the producers will get 100% of solar energy, then the goat will get 10% of solar energy, as it decreases in 10% in every tropic levels. 10% of energy will decrease in every tropic level. So the human will get 0.1% of solar energy. So some energy it will get, human will get. So the smaller the food chains are, the better it will be. Okay, clear? Please let me know, is it clear to you? Please let me know, is it clear to you? Okay. Okay, Mitul Pramanik, clear. Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Okay, so here is the question. Energy flow in a food chain is unidirectional. Explain. Okay, so as we discussed in our previous question, that in this diagram there is a diagram where we can see a energy pyramid, and we can see the energy flow is in a single direction. Energy flow in a single direction, bottom to top. Okay, energy flow in a single direction from producers to primary consumer, then primary consumer to secondary consumer, then secondary consumer to third level consumers, then third level consumers to apex predators. Okay, so energy flow is unidirectional. That means it flows in a single way. So here is number 3, as there is number 3, so you have to draw a diagram beside this. If if you provide a diagram, then your presentation will be more attractive and no number will be deducted. Okay, so here is the tips, that you have to draw a diagram whenever you can see there is a high number 3. So when you explain this answer, then you have to draw a diagram beside. Okay, so why energy flow is unidirectional? Because in food chain, in energy pyramid, the flow of energy is unidirectional because it flows only one direction, from producers to primary consumers, to secondary consumers, to third level consumers, third level consumers to apex predators.
একসাথে
Okay. So the energy flow is producers 100%. If producers consumes 100% of solar energy, primary consumers will consume 10% of solar energy. Then secondary consumer will consume 1% of solar energy. Then the third level consumer will consume 0.1% of solar energy, and the last apex predator will consume 0% of solar energy. So in the highest level there, the predators will get no energy. So this is the energy flow is unidirectional. Okay, clear? Clear? Please let me know if it is clear to you. Please let me know if it is clear to you.
Hello everyone, welcome to the another video of Eduins. তো আজকে আমরা দেখো একটা বিষয় নিয়ে আলোচনা করব ক্লাস 11 এর সেমিস্টার 1 এর কি জীব বৈচিত্র্য হ্রাসের কারণ। আমরা যা আগের ক্লাসে পড়েছি যে বায়োডাইভার্সিটি বা জীব বৈচিত্র্য কাকে বলে, তার গুরুত্ব কি, সেটা কেন আমাদের পরিবেশের জন্য উপযোগী এবং গুরুত্বপূর্ণ।
Let's move to the next slide. Let's move to the next slide. Okay,
অনেক প্রাণী, অনেক উদ্ভিদ।
Okay, the next question is give 83 methods to reduce the problem of waste disposal. Give any 3 methods to reduce the problem of waste disposal. Can you tell me that what are the 3 methods, 3 main methods to reduce the problem of waste disposal? Can anyone give this answer? Can anyone give this answer?
আমাদের একজন ভৌগোলিকবিদ বলতে পারো, আমাদের একজন ভৌগোলিকবিদ, আমেরিকান ভৌগোলিকবিদ যার নাম হচ্ছে
At first we have to learn about the 3R principle. At first we have to learn about the 3R principle.
তিনি চারটি কারণ বলেছিলেন বা তিনি চারটি কারণকে as a proposed causes, মানে এই যে জীব বৈচিত্র্য হ্রাস,
the 3R principles are reduce, reuse and recycle. What? Reduce, reuse and recycle. Reduce,
quartet, evil quartet. এই যে জীব বৈচিত্র্য হ্রাসের চারটি যে কারণ, মেন কজ, তাদের চারটি কারণকে একসাথে বলেছিলেন evil quartet. তো এটি হচ্ছে চারটি।
So what is reduce, what is reuse and what is recycle? Reduce means we have to reduce the unnecessary products like the plastics. We have to reduce their uses because plastics harms our environment so much. It's a pollutant, so it breaks our environmental balance. It's a non-biodegradable substance, so we have to reduce the unnecessary uses of plastic. So at first we have to reduce the uses of unnecessary।
যে কারণটা আমরা পড়ব সেটা হচ্ছে যে বাসস্থানের খণ্ডীভবন,
বাসস্থানের or substances
খণ্ডীভবন
like plastics
বাসস্থানের খণ্ডীভবন এবং অবলুপ্তি। 2,
as it is harmful for our environment, as it is harmful for our environment.
জীব বৈচিত্র্যের
okay, then it comes reuse. Then what is reuse? Sometimes we throw up some substances in from our
Pin
home,
number.
so we have to reuse them. We have to learn about the process, how we can reuse them. Okay, so this way we can save many household goods, and we can control the waste. Okay, so now we have to learn what is reuse.
প্রজাতির
So we have to learn about how to reuse,
বহিরাগত প্রজাতির অনুপ্রবেশ এবং 4 সহ অবলুপ্তি
substances.
ওকে, এই মেন যে চারটে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি, এই চারটেকেই আমরা একসাথে বলছি কি, অবশ্যই আমরা আমাদের ডায়মন্ড যিনি সায়েন্টিস্ট ছিলেন, আমাদের যে সায়েন্টিস্ট আমেরিকান ভৌগোলিকবিদ জ্যারেড ডায়মন্ড, তিনি বলেছেন এই চারটাকে একসাথে।
Then recycle. We have to learn about the process, how we can recycle the plastic substances and some metal substances, glass substances that can't breaks down into the soil because they are non-biodegradable particles. So we have to recycle them. So we have to recycle the প্লাস্টিক।
তো এবার আমরা একে একে এই যে বাসস্থানের খণ্ডীভবন,
প্লাস্টিক, মেটালস,
তাদের অবস্থা কিভাবে ঘটছে, জীববৈচিত্র্যের অতিরিক্ত ব্যবহার বা ওভার এক্সপ্লয়টেশন, বহিরাগত প্রজাতির অনুপ্রবেশ, মানে যে এক্সোটিক স্পিসিস যেগুলো বা ইনভেসিভ স্পিসিস বা এলিয়েন স্পিসিস, যে
we have to reuse them.
Alien species.
Okay, so these 3 can be followed. Okay, so these 3 can be followed. Okay, so the next step is composting. The next step is composting. So what is composting? What is the process composting signifies? What is composting? We can dig a hole, then we can bury the household particles like rotten vegetables, vegetable peels, rotten fruits or fruit peels. Then we can bury them, and from this the microorganisms can decompose, and the biogas will produce. From this biogas energy we can produce the electricity and many more. So composting is a very useful process. So in this process what we can do, we can
তাদের থাকার জায়গা প্রয়োজন পড়ছে। তার জন্য কি হচ্ছে, প্রথমে আমরা বন জঙ্গল যেটা থাকছে সেটাকে কেটে সেখানে বাসস্থানের জায়গা করছি, এবং তার সাথে সাথে কিন্তু এই জিনিসটাও হচ্ছে কি না, আমরা যে বন জঙ্গল কাটছি সেটা শুধুমাত্র যে বাসস্থানের কারণ পপুলেশন বাড়ার সাথে সাথে তাদের যে খাদ্যের চাহিদা, খাদ্যের যোগান দেওয়ার জন্য কিন্তু কৃষি জমির প্রয়োজন হচ্ছে যেখানে চাষবাস করা হবে। তো সেই কৃষি জমির পরিমাণ বাড়ানোর জন্য কিন্তু বন জঙ্গল কাটা হচ্ছে। তো এই ফরেস্টের এই যে ডিস্ট্রাকশন, এর ফলে কি হচ্ছে, আস্তে আস্তে যে বনজ সম্পদ আছে সেটা যেমন নষ্ট হচ্ছে, বনজ প্রাণী উদ্ভিদ যারা আছে তারাও কিন্তু আস্তে আস্তে কিন্তু সংখ্যায় কমতে শুরু করেছে, এবং যে প্রাণীরা আছে সেখানে তাদের মধ্যে কিন্তু তাদের যে টেরিটরি বা তাদের যে জায়গা থাকার সেটা কিন্তু আস্তে আস্তে ছোট হওয়ার ফলে তাদের মধ্যে কম্পিটিশন বাড়ছে, তারা আস্তে আস্তে সেই জায়গা থেকে বিলুপ্ত হতে শুরু করেছে। তার সাথে সাথে আমরা আরেকটা জিনিস দেখতে পাবো, না ধরো কোন জায়গা দিয়ে যাওয়ার জন্য, ধরো সোজা পথ, সড়ক পথ বানানোর জন্য বা রেল পথ বানানোর জন্য কি হয়, জঙ্গলের ভিতর দিয়ে আমাদের রাস্তা মানে রেল পথ বা সড়ক পথ তৈরি করা হয়। তার ফলে কি হয়, ধরো মাইগ্রেশন, এদিক থেকে ওদিকে যাওয়ার সময় প্রাণীগুলো আছে তারা যাওয়ার সময় কি হয়, অনেক সময় হচ্ছে রোড কিলিং এর মতো ইনসিডেন্ট আমরা দেখে থাকি। তার ফলে কি হচ্ছে, তাদের কিন্তু
ফাঙ্গাস will decompose them,
একটু আস্তে,
decompose them and
তো তার ফলে
Produce
কি হচ্ছে, এদের যে পপুলেশন ধীরে ধীরে
biogas
কমতে শুরু করেছে।
energy.
তাহলে আমরা পয়েন্ট ওয়াইজ
Biogas
লিখি, 1 নম্বরের ক্ষেত্রে বাসস্থানের অবনতি,
energy from this
বাসস্থানের খণ্ডী ভবন,
from this electricity will produce,
এটাকে আমরা কি বলে থাকি,
electricity will produce
ফ্র্যাগমেন্টেশন
or
habitat
It-
fragmentation
turns into humus and
তো এখানে
can
আমরা পয়েন্ট করে যদি লিখি, কি কি
use
পয়েন্ট আমাদের
these
মনে রাখতে হবে, যে প্রথম হচ্ছে জনসংখ্যা বৃদ্ধির জন্য,
as fertilizers.
জনসংখ্যা
Fertilizers.
বৃদ্ধির ফলে
So it's a very, very, very much useful method.
বাসস্থান-
So what is composting? We can dig a hole and then we can bury the
বাসস্থানে
rotten vegetables and fruits, their peels and
প্রয়োজনে
other domestic animals waste and let them decompose. Okay? The decomposers like
বনাঞ্চল
bacteria, worms and other microorganism, fungus will decompose
ধ্বংস
them and produce biogas energy from this. Electricity will also
দ্বিতীয়,
produce, or
কৃষি জমির
it
প্রয়োজনে
turns into humus and we can use this as fertilizers. Okay, so composting is a very much useful method. Please let me know if it is clear to you. Please let me know if it is clear to you. Okay, Yuvraj, you are saying that ma'am screen is not clear. Okay, please let me know if the board is clear to you now. If the board is clear to you now,
যখন রাস্তা করা হচ্ছে তখন আস্তে আস্তে
please let me know.
উদ্ভিদ বা
Please let me know.
কমিউনিকেশন আস্তে আস্তে
Am I audible to you, or if this board is clear to you now?
গাড়ি ঘোড়া যাচ্ছে, ওখানে মানুষজন যাচ্ছে, তারা কিন্তু আসতে ওখানে ভয় পাচ্ছে। তার মানে দুটো হ্যাবিটেট ফ্র্যাগমেন্টেড হয়ে গেল, মানে এদিকে একটা রাস্তার দু সাইডে দুটো হ্যাবিটেট তৈরি হয়ে গেল। তাদের যে থাকার একটা জায়গা ছিল, তারা যে মিলেমিশে থাকতো, সেটা কিন্তু আস্তে আস্তে সেটা কমে গেল।
Then number 3,
তাদের ক্ষেত্রে যখন দলে
number 3,
একে অপরের সাথে কমিউনিকেট করতে পারতো,
number 3, the last point,
তাদেরকে ডিটেক্ট করতে পারলে বাকিরা
waste segregation, waste segregation,
পপুলেশনটা দুটো আলাদা হ্যাবিটেটে চলে যাবে।
Now what is waste segregation? We have to segregate different types of waste like biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. The biodegradable waste like vegetable peels, rotten vegetables or fruit peels or rotten fruits that can easily break down into the soil, but the non-biodegradable components are the plastics and metals or glass particles that can't break down into the soil, so it can be harmful for our environment. So we have to segregate the two types of waste and we have to take different steps to destroy them. Okay, so the next stage is we have to segregate different types of waste. We have to segregate different types of waste, as there is two types of wastes mainly. What are they? Biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste, organic substances are biodegradable wastes. Organic substances are biodegradable wastes and non-biodegradable wastes.
ঘটে গেছে যাদের, এবং
Non-biodegradable
অলরেডি যারা নিয়ার টু এক্সটিংক্ট, ঠিক আছে? তো তাদের আমরা নাম বলবো। প্রথম অবলুপ্ত হয়ে গেছে যেসব প্রাণী, তাদের নাম আমরা এক এক করে দেখি। কি কি প্রাণী অবলুপ্তি ঘটেছে?
Plastics,
প্রথম যে নামটা আমরা পড়বো সেটা হচ্ছে
metals and glasses. Okay, so we have to take different steps to destroy them. So we have to take we have to take different
Okay.
steps,
for man clouded
to destroy them.
leopard.
Okay,
Okay.
is it clear to
ଦୁଇ.
you? Is it clear to you? Please let me
Mountain
know.
glorious.
Is it clear to you? Okay,
mountain glorious
please let me know. Is it clear to
কি
you?
বললাম mountain
Students who are
Glorious.
watching our live session, please let me know. Is it clear to you?
torrent ban. Okay. তিন নম্বর
Okay.
আমরা পড়বো
Let's move to the next slide. Let's move to the next slide. So here is the question that differentiates between natural and artificial ecosystem. What is the difference between natural and artificial ecosystem? Can anyone
এবং
know?
চার নম্বর
Can anyone
যেটা
give this
পড়বো,
answer?
সেটা হচ্ছে যে
What is natural and artificial ecosystem and the difference between
cryptic
them? Can
hunter.
anyone
Cryptic-
answer this
cryptic
question?
hunter.
Can anyone answer this question? What is natural and artificial ecosystem?
Okay.
What
এই
is
চারটে
natural
নাম
and
মোটামুটি
artificial
আমরা মনে রাখতে
ecosystem?
পারি।
Can
অবলুপ্ত
anyone
হয়ে গেছে এমন
give
চারটি
this
প্রাণী,
answer?
cryptic forman clouded leopard, mountain glorious torrent bang, speaks macaw আর হচ্ছে cryptic hunter.
Okay. So, before learning the difference between natural and artificial ecosystem, at first we have to learn about them.
এবার
So
আসবো,
what is
দেখো,
natural
বিপন্নপ্রায়
ecosystem?
প্রাণী মানে
So
যারা
basically the
endangered
natural
species,
ecosystem refers to
যারা
the interaction
endangered species,
between every
তাদের মধ্যে
living
যারা
organisms and
endangered species,
humans
তাদের মধ্যে
with
প্রথম
the
আমাদের যে
environment.
নামটা মাথায়
And the
আসবে,
artificial ecosystem defines the
প্রথম যে
relationship
নামটা মাথায়
between
আসবে
or
সেটা
the
হচ্ছে
interaction between every biotic and abiotic
Orangutan.
components of a particular area. Artificial signifies that some particles or something
দ্বিতীয়,
that is
piggy
man-made,
sloth.
but natural means what is it's a ongoing
দ্বিতীয়,
process or the
pygmy sloth.
natural process. Okay, so it happens naturally, natural ecosystem that grows naturally, but the artificial
Okay.
ecosystems
তিন নম্বর
grows
আমরা বলতে
artificially
পারি,
or it's a man-made process. So human activity isn't required
তিন নম্বর
in
আমরা বলতে
natural
পারি,
ecosystem,
gorilla.
but in an artificial ecosystem human activity is required, and the genetic diversity is very high in natural ecosystem, but in artificial ecosystem the genetic diversity is low. Okay, so let's write
নাম্বার
the
আমরা যেটা
difference
বলতে পারি সেটা
between
হচ্ছে
them.
সুমাত্রীয় গন্ডার।
So natural ecosystem,
সুমাত্রীয় গন্ডার এবং চার
and
নম্বর
artificial ecosystem.
পার্বত্য
Artificial ecosystem.
অঞ্চলের গরিলা।
So what is the difference between them?
এই মোটামুটি
Let's
চারটি
write.
एग्जांपल আমরা মনে রাখতে পারি।
Let's write. So natural
তাহলে কি কি হলো?
ecosystem
না বিপন্ন
defines
প্রায়ের মধ্যে ওরাংউটান, পিগমি স্লথ, সুমাত্রীয় গন্ডার
the
এবং পার্বত্য
interaction-
অঞ্চলের গরিলা। তো এই হলো
the
হচ্ছে বাসস্থানের
interaction
সন্ধিভবনের ফলে অবলুপ্ত প্রাণী
between
এবং বিপন্ন প্রায়
the
যারা আছে তারা
interaction between
তাদের
every
ওকে। তো নেক্সট আমরা যে
living
পয়েন্টটা পড়ব সেটা হচ্ছে
organisms,
জীববৈচিত্র্যের অতিরিক্ত
living
ব্যবহার,
organisms,
exploitation. ওকে,
and the environment of a particular area. Okay, and artificial ecosystem defines the interaction between every biotic and abiotic substance
তো এই যে বৈচিত্র্যের অতিরিক্ত ব্যবহার, তার মানে কি ওভার এক্সপ্লয়টেশন, আমরা প্রচুর পরিমাণে আরোহণ করছি,
area.
আমরা প্রচুর পরিমাণে কিছু
So the first point is defines the natural ecosystem, defines the interaction between every living organisms and the environment of a particular area, but the artificial ecosystem defines the interaction between every biotic and abiotic substances in a man-made or artificial area. Okay, so human activity is not needed here. Human activity is not required here.
বনভূমি ধ্বংস
as it is
ডিফরেস্টেশন,
as
ডিফরেস্টেশনের জন্য,
natural and ongoing process.
প্রচুর পরিমাণে আমরা
natural and
সংগ্রহ করছি, লগইন করছি। তো বনভূমির যে পরিধি সেটা
and the artificial ecosystem as it is artificial, so human activity is required,
কিন্তু আস্তে আস্তে কমছে।
human
তার সাথে সাথে কিন্তু
activity
চোরা শিকার
is required. Okay,
ধরো কোথাও এরকম ঘটে থাকে যে ধরো গাছ কাটা হচ্ছে,
in this natural ecosystem genetic diversity
কয়লা বার করে নিচ্ছে, সেটাও যদি থাকে সেখান থেকে আবার নতুন কিন্তু গাছ তৈরি হতে পারে, কিন্তু সেটাও কি করছে না চোরা শিকারের মাধ্যমে সেটাওকে পুড়িয়েও কিন্তু
but in this artificial ecosystem as there is it's man-made
সম্পদ,
so genetic diversity is very low. So in this process genetic diversity,
বিভিন্ন diversity প্রয়োজন আছে, নিত্য প্রয়োজনে বলবো না, অনেকের শখ আছে, শৌখিন জিনিসপত্রের শখ আছে, তার জন্য কিন্তু এগুলো ব্যবহার করে।
As for example natural ecosystem, what are natural ecosystem like forest ecosystem or pond ecosystem, they are natural ecosystem. Okay, and the artificial ecosystem, the crop fields, the sugarcane field, the paddy fields, they are the example of artificial ecosystem. Okay, so here is the difference. Please let me know if it is clear to you. Please let me know if it is clear to you.
দেহের অংশ কিন্তু বিক্রি করে দেয়, তো সেখানে কি হচ্ছে তাদের সংখ্যা আস্তে আস্তে।
Please let me know if it is clear to you.
এর ফলে এই জীববৈচিত্র্যের অতি ব্যবহার যে বেড়ে গেছে, এর ফলে কিন্তু সত্যিকারেরই আমাদের জীববৈচিত্র্য যেটা আমাদের বায়োডাইভার্সিটি আস্তে আস্তে কিন্তু কমে যাচ্ছে, কিন্তু পরিবেশের জন্য যথেষ্ট ক্ষতিকর। তো এবার আমরা দেখব যে এই জীববৈচিত্র্যের অবলুপ্ত এবং বিলুপ্ত প্রায় বা বিপন্ন।
So here is a diagram, natural ecosystem and artificial ecosystem. As you can see, in artificial ecosystem there is a part, so here the human activity or human maintenance is required, but in this natural ecosystem no human activity or human maintenance is required. Okay, so the next question is write the full form of UNEP. What is the full form of UNEP? Can anyone answer this question? What is the full form of UNEP? Can anyone answer this question?
তো জীববৈচিত্র্যের অতিরিক্ত ব্যবহারের ফলে অবলুপ্ত প্রাণী কারা?
Can anyone answer this question? It's a very easy question. What is the full form of UNEP? What is the full form of UNEP? Can anyone answer this question?
Passenger পায়রা।
So the full form of UNEP is United Nations Environment Program. UNEP United Nations Environment Program.
কেন এখানে কেন যাবে? এই তো এখানে তো মাইক চেক করেই চালিয়েছো।
United Nations Environment Program that is established in
এটা চালিয়ে দেখ আপাতত।
1972 1972. United Nations Environment Program is the full form of UNEP, that is established in 1972. Okay. Let's move to the next slide. Let's move to the next slide. So our last question is, write the names of any two decomposers. As we discussed in our first question, that what are decomposers? They are natural recyclers that helps to decompose the decaying organic substances like their animals and plant bodies, rotten vegetables, fruits, and some organic particles, and turns them into simpler and smaller inorganic particles like carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. So who are the decomposers? The decomposers are bacteria and fungi. So here the two names of decomposers: bacteria, fungi. Okay, it's a very easy question. Okay, so that's all for today. Hope you are enjoying my live class. So that's all for today. Have a nice time. Best of luck.